Since you specified 1, I'll assume you're referring to Siegmund Wilhelm List, 1880–1971, the German Generalfeldmarschall, as opposed to the Austrian painter, based on the context of your original request for a complete life story. Below is a detailed biography of Wilhelm List, covering his life from birth to death, including his early years, military career, World War II involvement, war crimes trial, and later life. I'll aim to be comprehensive yet concise, using the provided sources and critically assessing the information for accuracy and relevance. If you meant something else by 1, please clarify, and I'll pivot accordingly. Early life and education, 1880–1898. Siegmund Wilhelm List was born on May 14, 1880, in Oberkirchberg, now part of Illerkirchberg, near Ulm in the Kingdom of Württemberg, Germany. His father, Walter List, was a physician, and the family belonged to the middle class. Growing up in a disciplined environment, List developed an early interest in military life. He attended the Luitpold Gymnasium in Munich, a prestigious school that provided a rigorous education, preparing him for a structured career path. In 1898, at age 18, List joined the Bavarian Army as a cadet, entering the 1st Engineering Battalion as a volunteer, marking the start of his lifelong military career. Early military career and World War I, 1898–1918. List's early military service focused on engineering and staff roles within the Bavarian Army, a semi-autonomous branch of the German Imperial Army. In 1900, he was commissioned as a lieutenant, second lieutenant, in the 3rd Engineering Battalion. From 1904, he served as a battalion adjutant, demonstrating organizational skills. Between 1908 and 1911, he attended the Bavarian War Academy in Munich, training in fortress warfare, military railways, and general staff duties. By 1913, he had risen to Hauptmann, captain, and joined the Bavarian General Staff, a testament to his competence. During World War I, 1914–1918, List served primarily as a staff officer with Bavarian infantry units. He saw combat on key fronts, including the Somme, Ypres, Flanders, and the Maas, and participated in the Battle of Mosul. Notably, Adolf Hitler, then a corporal, served under his command in a regiment. In 1915, List fell seriously ill, requiring surgery, and was reassigned to Army Detachment C until 1917, when he joined the 8th Bavarian Reserve Division. His wartime service was competent but not particularly distinguished, earning him standard military honors for a staff officer of his rank. Interwar period and rise in the Reichswehr, 1919–1938. After Germany's defeat in 1918, List remained in the Reichswehr, the restricted military of the Weimar Republic. In 1919, he briefly joined the Freikorps Epp, a right-wing paramilitary group led by Colonel Franz Ritter von Epp, which suppressed the short-lived Bavarian Soviet Republic. This aligned him with conservative nationalist circles, though List later expressed moderate political views, distancing himself from extremist ideologies. Throughout the 1920s, List focused on military training and administration. In 1922, he commanded the 3rd Jaeger Battalion of the 19th Bavarian Infantry Regiment in Kempten. By 1924, he was Chief of Staff for Officer Training in Military District 7, Munich. In 1926, he became Director of Military Education at the Reichswehr Ministry and later commanded the Dresden Infantry School, where he developed expertise in tank warfare and military organization. His promotions reflected his growing reputation. Oberst, Colonel, in 1927, Generalmajor, Brigadier General, in 1930, and Generalleutnant, Major General, in 1932. List's relationship with the Nazi regime was complex. In 1931, he disciplined young officers for supporting the Nazi Party, which angered Adolf Hitler, who was rising to power. However, List prioritized his career and avoided open conflict with the Nazis, adhering to Prussian military traditions of professionalism. In 1933, he became commander of Wehrkreis IV, Dresden, and the 4th Division. By 1935, he was promoted to General der Infanterie and appointed commander of the 4th Army Corps. Following the Anschluss in 1938, List oversaw the integration of the Austrian Federal Army into the Wehrmacht, serving as Commander-in-Chief of Army Group Command 5 in Vienna. On April 1, 1939, he was promoted to Generaloberst, one of the highest ranks in the Wehrmacht. World War II. Early campaigns, 1939–1941. At the start of World War II, List commanded the 14th Army during the invasion of Poland, September 1939. His forces formed the southern wing of a planned encirclement to trap Polish troops near Warsaw. He linked up with General Heinz Guderian's 19th Panzer Corps near Brest-Litovsk on September 17, 1939, but the encirclement was disrupted by Soviet forces entering eastern Poland under the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact. During the occupation, List authorized SS units to conduct mass executions of Jews, a decision later cited in his war crimes trial, though he claimed limited control over SS actions. In 1940, List commanded the 12th Army during the invasion of France, as part of Army Group A under Gerd von Rundstedt. His forces played a critical role in the breakthrough at the Ardennes, crossing the Meuse River on May 15, 1940, which disrupted French defenses and isolated the British Expeditionary Force, contributing to Germany's rapid victory. This success earned List a promotion to Generalfeldmarschall, Field Marshal, on July 19, 1940, during Hitler's Field Marshal ceremony, one of 12 generals honored. In early 1941, List was tasked with securing Bulgaria's cooperation for Operation Merida, the invasion of Greece and Yugoslavia. On March 1, 1941, Bulgaria joined the Tripartite Pact, allowing German troops to pass through its territory. List's 12th Army, with 4 armored and 11 motorized infantry divisions, invaded on April 6, 1941, swiftly capturing Belgrade and Athens. As Commander-in-Chief Southeast, he oversaw the occupation of the Balkans, where his forces conducted brutal anti-partisan operations, including reprisal killings of civilians, e.g., 100 civilians executed per German soldier killed. These actions, ordered under his command, later formed the basis of war crimes charges. List resigned from this role in October 1941, possibly due to strategic disagreements or discomfort with the escalating violence. Eastern Front and dismissal, 1942. In July 1942, List was appointed commander of Army Group A during Operation Case Blue, Germany's offensive to capture the Caucasus oil fields. His forces advanced toward Grozny, capturing the Maikop oil fields, largely destroyed by Soviet scorched earth tactics, but faced severe logistical challenges and stiff Soviet resistance. By late August 1942, List's troops were within 50 miles of Grozny, but overextended supply lines stalled the offensive. List proposed reallocating units to counter Soviet defenses, a strategy Hitler viewed as defeatist. On September 9, 1942, Hitler dismissed List and personally assumed command of Army Group A. List returned to Germany and held no further active commands for the remainder of the war. War crimes trial and imprisonment, 1945–1952. After Germany's surrender in May 1945, List was arrested by the Allies and charged with war crimes and crimes against humanity in the hostages trial, Case 7 of the Nuremberg subsequent proceedings, in 1947. The charges centered on his role in ordering reprisal killings of civilians in Yugoslavia and Greece, where his forces were accused of killing hundreds of thousands in response to partisan attacks. Key evidence included signed orders, such as those authorizing the execution of civilians at ratios of 100:1 for German soldiers killed. In February 1948, List was convicted and sentenced to life imprisonment at Landsberg prison. List maintained that he was following orders and had limited control over SS and police units, but the court held him accountable as a commander. In December 1952, he was released, officially due to poor health, though his subsequent longevity, living until 1971, suggests political or humanitarian factors may have influenced the decision. Later years and death, 1952–1971. After his release, List settled in Garmisch-Partenkirchen, Germany, where he lived a quiet, private life. Little is documented about his activities during this period. He had a son, Karl List, who also had children, but personal details remain scarce. List died on August 17, 1971, at age 91, in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. His death marked the end of a controversial life, defined by military achievements and complicity in wartime atrocities. Critical assessment. Wilhelm List's life reflects the complexities of a professional soldier in a tumultuous era. His early career showcased dedication and competence, rising through the ranks in a disciplined military tradition. His World War II campaigns demonstrated strategic skill, particularly in France and the Balkans, but his involvement in brutal reprisals in the Balkans tied him to the Nazi regime's atrocities. His trial and conviction highlight the accountability of military commanders for actions under their command, even if they claimed limited agency. List's post-war release and quiet life contrast with the severity of his sentence, raising questions about justice and reconciliation in post-war Germany. If you have specific aspects of List's life you'd like me to explore further, e.g., specific campaigns, trial details, or personal life, or if you meant a different Wilhelm List, let me know, and I'll tailor the response.